Years ago, Elder Uchtdorf famously announced that we should tend to doubt our doubts. Interesting part about that is that in many ways, I think we should be doubting the doubts that we doubt, meaning that in the church, we have always kind of doubled down on the idea of having absolute certainty about things and knowing things for sure with every fiber of my being. Yet at the same time, you look at the Doctrine and Covenants, and it seems like every section of the Doctrine and Covenants came with a doubt, is sponsored by a doubt, sponsored by a question. They didn't have additional information. So they would seek for answers, and sometimes they got it, like what they should do about this or that. And sometimes things like, when is the second coming coming? They never really got an answer. They just got, hang on there. Famously, BYU professor of geology said he was trying to solve the age-old question of evolution and Genesis, and he said that he prayed about it, and one night he got a very strong, firm answer about geology, evolution, and Genesis, and the answer from the Lord was, yes, there's an answer, without an answer. So somewhere in here, we have to have what one scholar has called the decriminalization of doubt. In other words, we can have doubts. We're allowed to have doubts. Certainly in my life, there are some things that I would really like to have answers to. I would like to have answers about why it is that when you drop a sandwich, it always lands jam side down on the floor. I'd like to know why it is that we don't have Sunday school presidents in the church. I don't have answers to that. It's worth continuing to look for. And so the ability to have doubts, I think, is actually part of the eternal gospel, where we're growing and learning. We're growing and learning because we don't have knowledge about certain things. And I think that puts us really firmly in the category of the man that comes to Jesus and says, will you heal my son? And Jesus says, well, do you have faith? And he says, well, I believe, but help thou my unbelief. How about if we stayed in that range a little longer? I'm not sure. Help thou my unbelief while I struggle with doubts and I'm trying to learn and get more information. I think that puts us in pretty good company. Maybe that's a good place to start.